Hi, I'm Matt Westwood, and in this series, I'm going to help you ace the general knowledge component of your AMEB exam. In this video, we are looking at the piece Running for the Bus with a Violin, which is List A number 3 in the Series 10 Preliminary Violin Exam book. In a preliminary exam, you need to be able to name and explain all the notes, rests, the signs and terms, the title, and the key. The way I like to think about it is that if there is ink on the page, you need to be able to explain why it is there and what it means. To help you learn these things, I recommend that you photocopy the piece and write the meanings on your copy as we go. That way you have a copy of the music to study from and a clean copy of the music to continue practicing from. Here you'll see my annotated copy of the music, and I have whited out everything that we won't be talking about. Starting with notes, I won't be covering letter names in this series, but we will start with note value. This piece only has one note value, which is quavers, which go for half a beat each. When a quaver is by itself, it is written with a tail hanging off, and when quavers are grouped together, they appear with a beam connecting them. This piece has quaver rests, which are half-beat rests, and crotchet rests, which are one-beat rests. They add up to 1.5 beats of rest when placed next to each other. On to signs and terms. This piece has a time signature of 4/4, which means that every bar has 4 quarter notes or 4 crotchets of value. This usually means that there are 4 beats in the bar, with each crotchet being considered 1 beat. However, the metronome mark, minim equals 70 to 80, suggests that there are 2 beats in each bar, with each minim being considered 1 beat. Discuss with your teacher whether you feel that this piece is in 2 or in 4 when playing it. In the opening bar, we get a character marking and tempo marking at a steady jog. To me, a steady jog is about 140 steps per minute, which is the speed that crotchets go by in this piece. Next to that, we have the metronome mark, minim equals 70 to 80 beats per minute, telling us the tempo a bit more precisely. This piece starts out mezzo forte, which means moderately loud. In bar 3, there is a crescendo, which means to gradually get louder. And in bar 4, we arrive at forte, which means loud. Later in bar 13, the piece drops down to mezzo piano, which means moderately soft. The sideways V sign is an accent, instructing you to play the note with a strong attack, or loudly and forcefully. The square-like shape above the G in bar 5 is a down bow marking. The circle above the first note in bar 25 is a harmonic, instructing you to place your finger as light as a feather on the string. Even though there is only a circle above the first note, it seems common sense to play this whole bar as harmonics. In bar 16, we get the tempo marking, poco riten. Poco means a little, and riten stands for ritenuto, which means to immediately become slower. Together, they mean a little slower. Usually after this marking, we might see an instruction to return to the original tempo, but instead, in bar 17, the instruction is to play slightly faster. So if you started at 70 beats per minute, you might want to be playing this section closer to 80 beats per minute. The numbers above some of the notes are fingerings, and the numbers at the beginning of each line are bar numbers. This piece finishes with a final double bar line to indicate the end of the piece. On to the title, Running for the Bus with a Violin. There are a few ways I feel this piece tells the story of someone running for the bus with a violin. The constant steady quavers at the tempo of a steady jog convey running. At bar 16, the slowdown conveys the runner getting tired and catching their breath, only to realize that if they don't hurry, they will miss the bus. They run faster, eventually reaching the bus in time at bar 25, where they breathe a sigh of relief, marked, "Phew!" As well as the title, we also have the composer's name at the top of the page. This is the person who wrote the piece. Finally, onto the key. The key signature has 1 sharp, an F sharp, which tells us that this piece is either in G major or E minor. The use of the G major scale throughout, and G being the first and last notes of the piece, tell us that we are in the key of G major. If you found this video helpful, please consider liking and subscribing. If you think I missed anything or if you have any questions, leave a comment down below. My name's Matt Westwood and I'll see you in the next video.